All right, so we're back to finish off our amazing adventure. Last time you were on the space station and you found the fleet of ships that the Enola royal family had used to flee from Enola's End, the battle that brought you all together. And you just found a way to terrify these Mercury ships into squirting their weird metallic ink all over this hangar bay so you can hopefully bust them out. All right, so Achilles, you are in this hangar bay completely, like you can maybe see like a couple feet in front of you. There's light in here, but there's just this basically glitter, like glitter nightmare flying. It's like very light, so it's like stays airborne like dust. And it is not meant to be like in places where there's atmosphere. It's an outer space defense technique that the Mercuries have developed. So there's just like a lot of it in here. It is not supposed to be in a contained space, and you had 3 of them do it at the same time. So you're just like walking through like snow globes that has a bunch of glitter in there. It's like that, but like it's just flying everywhere all around you, just constantly.
It's in my mouth, you guys. Get ready to start running in, or are they already? I don't know. And I'm just sort of yelling towards the door, "We need help in here. We're under attack." And I just shoot up in the air once or twice more.
Okay. Those 2 shots don't have that same like giant microphone put on them, so they're echoing everywhere. But yeah, they still get the effect. And you can't see it, but there's like, you hear the of the automatic door opening, and you kind of see like a little bit of light coming from that direction, but you cannot see like individuals or who's coming through the door in any way. So are you going to go with your original plan of and opening the hangar doors so that these Mercury beings can escape, or what do you do?
I think I'm asking this very question right now on the comms because, like, I'm seeing the opportunity here, and I know this is hopefully giving them an opportunity to get in. Yeah. Do you want me to get the doors open so that the Mercuries can get out, or do we need to see what's on them or who's on them, if anything?
So, Parlay, you still have this, like, ringing buzzing in your system from that giant call that went out, that distress, like, fear call that went out through all the Mercury beings. So you're hearing it in the comms, but it's just like, whoa, like, if androids could have, like, a migraine, this is kind of the experience you're having right now.
What do we see from our perspective as far as, like, the guards?
There's, like, 3 guards on the outside. They had been talking for a moment about you, obviously, because who doesn't talk about you? Exactly. And then they were like, oh, wow, that's weird. And then they went back to their post, and, like, the timing of it is, like, maybe less than a minute later. Suddenly that, you know, you typed on the console and all that, and then right after that happens, there's, like, that blast of sound, and they, like, kind of freak out for a second. It seems like they're panicking and thinking that the station is actually falling apart or something. And then when they hear Achilles give that fake call to arms, then they, like, suddenly they remember, oh yeah, we're guards. And they stand up and they, like, all pile in straight into the automatic door.
I think we're just following them in through there then, trying to get into the action.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to work, but I mean, obviously this glittery stuff is just filling the air, but, you know, I knew the direction, so I'm going to barrel towards the ships as fast as I can. Mm-hmm. And, like, if I can get close enough, just kind of, I don't know, not yelling exactly, but I want to make sure that all 3 of them can hear me, and just say, do you want out? Do you want free?
Okay, you're going to run up to them and shout that?
Yeah.
You're seeing, akin to what I was saying before, if there's, like, a horse in a stall who's upset, like, getting close to them isn't always the best choice in life. They're a lot bigger than you, and they're not even close to as big as these mercurial beings. So they're doing this weird thing because their state of being is generally kind of a solid, but they're afraid right now. So they have, like, gone into, like, defense mode. So they have what we were talking about earlier where there's, like, the spike on the front, and they've kind of, like, almost hardened their bodies, like they're ready for a fight. And you can kind of see most of the time they're not made for fighting themselves. So they're centered together in this giant hangar as animals kind of glomming together because they're afraid and to like protect each other like they would in like a pack or a pod. When you run up to them, they're going to hear you, but they're going to like hit you. Like one of them's going to hit you really hard. Not because they're aiming for you, but they're literally just like frantically looking around like because they're terrified. So one of them's going to like move part of its body and just slam into you. And you're going to mark 2 conditions for me.
Okay, that makes sense. I definitely feel a little guilty about having exacerbated this. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just afraid.
That's good. That's logical. And so they're
First time out in space, and now spaceships are punching me.
Right? Who knew they could do that? Are you still shouting at them? Are you still?
I think after I got hit, I just kind of went careening back, sliding across the floor, and just think, all right, I'm going to open up the doors and try to crawl and then get up and run over to wherever I can open that for them.
Yeah. You would know that like before the inking incident, it was like literally just straight across the hangar. So you're like, you kind of know where you started, kind of, because it's pretty hard to see stuff in here. And you just know it's like, okay, I know where I know the door I walked in, and I know it's on the opposite wall. So you just kind of start making a beeline across this giant hangar for what is these giant like airlock doors.
Okay. Yeah, I'm making my way as the others come in.
Okay, yeah, and the two of you, like while this is happening, are following in behind these three guards who've kind of filed in, like with their guns drawn, like ready for a fight, because they were just told, hey, we're being attacked in here. And they seem like ready and confused. They're currently not aware of your presence behind them. They also, the minute they get in the door, they don't know what to do with the ink. They're like, what happened? They inked, blah. And you just hear this like shouting back and forth as these three are trying to get a handle on what's actually happening in this situation.
I feel bad, but I want to reach out and knock two of their heads together.
Okay, awesome. So that would be a forces necessary roll. To inflict harm on an opponent, describe it and roll plus body.
12.
Wow,
Nice.
Amazing. All right. So a 10 plus, you succeed. Your opponent is marking damage boxes, so two of them clunk together and crumple down, passed out. So the only one left is the one that you had talked to earlier, Blitz. And you kind of hear him like calling for his companions, like, hey, are you here? Where did you two go?
Do I have any idea that any of that just happened?
I don't think so, because it's really hard to see anything in here.
Right, okay. I want to reach out for the last of these guards.
When you come in, you probably stayed close enough to them to kind of see where they are in the mist. Like, it's like seeing someone in the mist where it's like a little bit of an outline because you're looking for them and you're behind them. They aren't aware to turn around and look and see you. So you could probably see at least an outline of that last person.
I want to reach out for the last person that I had talked to before, this guard.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you! And I'll grab him by the arm and try and knock him into the door frame and discombobulate him a bit and push him outside so that I can lock the doors behind him.
Awesome. So that is forces necessary. So you're going to be rolling plus body.
Okay, I was going to say this might be one of my hotshot moves, save the audience. So I roll courage instead of body if force is necessary while a crewmate or love interest is watching. Technically, love interest is watching, but also if Parlay can see me, that'd be crewmate. I don't know if it counts if like
Both.
it's both. Does that count?
Yeah, absolutely. It counts. And Parlay knows it's happening. So even if he doesn't exactly see everything, like the crewmate is present. So
Gotta keep up that reputation. That's an 11.
amazing.
Nice.
Very good. So you succeed. Your opponent is shaken or injured. They mark 2 conditions and you are unharmed. You kind of slam him against the automatic doors because they're closed. And then it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, and then he's discombobulated and then they open just like a split second too late. And then you can kind of like push him through as he's discombobulated and they slide shut behind him.
And as I swing him around, I pull out my green pen and I sign his arm.
Ah, I love it. Amazing. Absolutely.
As I'm darting across the way, I'm just, I think I am just shouting at this point. I don't know where they are. I don't know exactly what's going on. 317, can you talk to them? Can you find out if there's anyone or anything inside the Mercuries before I open these doors?
Yeah, you hear this even more high-pitched than usual, like this high-pitched little bee sound coming from the top of Parley's head. And kind of like this little note shoots out, and then you hear kind of confused sounding, but also like a little bit relieved, like responses coming back from these 3 full-size Mercury ships. So they go back and forth, and then you kind of hear 317's little voice, yes, they would like out. Please let them out.
Yeah, all right, good enough for me. And I'm gonna slide over to those controls and start getting these doors open.
Flip the switches, press the buttons, and these giant, massive hangar doors start like pulling, and there's like the little like flashy red lights and stuff. You do see like it's not like gonna be like you're not losing atmosphere. They've got like this like the little force fields like they do in like when you're in Star Wars or whatever, and you're in like the Death Star, like the force field that keeps the atmosphere in but lets ships and stuff out. So don't get too close. You can still fall out, but you're not all gonna die from not breathing.
Awesome.
So the door
We're not
opens.
going to get sucked into the vacuum of space.
I think I'm not even sure, so I'm just holding onto the console really tight with my eyes closed, and then slowly blink one eye open, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. So, and the minute that opens, though, the three Mercury beings, they come, and you hear them come up to the door, and they're like waiting for it to be open enough to get through. So you can kind of start to see them because there's a little bit of the ink is kind of floating out into space through this thing. So you can kind of see this neat pattern that's slowly trickling out among the stars while you're standing there, Achilles, and you're seeing this. And it is starting to clear the room a little bit more. And you can hear these Mercury beings, like they're rearing to go, and they want out of this room.
I want to try to run forward, like hearing where they are, starting to be able to see a little bit. And I want to try to leap onto one of them so that we don't entirely lose them if they just, as you talked about with wild horses, that they just don't take off into an unknown galaxy. Okay,
absolutely. Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna say, I mean, just to run up there and like grab onto them, you can do that. Okay. Yeah, that seems like a normal thing, especially now that they're all kind of like lined up right outside the door. They're not flying around in fear anymore. And as a parlay unit, like, you know them well. So you go up and you grab on. Are you kind of like climbing up the side?
Yeah, I imagine like clinging to the side or the top.
Okay. It's like it's like the last one. There's like three. They're kind of in a line, but not really. But like the one closest to you when you get through the door. And like just as you kind of grab on, the door finally is big enough and they go foom, foom, foom right out the door. And then you just hear this, like as they're leaving, like once they hit the vacuum, you can't hear it anymore. But like this happy, like excited buzzing sound of like relief, like this musical, like buzz relief sound. So you're clinging to the side of this Mercury being. It's flying and it's doing that, like, if you've ever seen a dog with the zoomies, this is kind of the equivalent of that. Like, it is excited to be outside. The three of them are flying together, but it's definitely a little bit erratic, and they're just, like, relieved. Like, they're stretching. They feel good. They're so excited to be outside in the, like, basking in the singularity. However, even though you don't really have a problem with not breathing when you're, in the vacuum of space, I am going to have you roll your Not Like You move for all the stuff in the air, the radiation and things, especially from the singularity.
Okay.
Not like you. You can survive things most other crew members can't.
7.
So on a 7 and 9, the effect is much slower and less dangerous to you. Right now, you normally would mark one condition for kind of the radiation damage and stuff that's happening. And then we're going to kind of put you on a clock. So you're going to mark conditions the longer you're out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And suddenly you hear this incredibly musical, like one of the most beautiful, happy conversations you've ever heard from Mercury beings happening between this Mercury being and 317, this little avatar on your head. Like, they are just singing back and forth and harmonizing in a way that you've never heard before, like they know the same songs. It's like it's something that they've had forever.
Aww.
Yeah.
317, this is beautiful, but could you ask one of them to dock for a brief moment by your full body so that I may not be filled with the radiation of this black hole?
317 replies, "Treasure! Treasure! We found treasure! You found treasure, Parley."
I look around, and I think because of, like, their experience of having lost that first crew and stuff, like, because he'd lost them to the atmosphere, and so, like, just being out in the atmosphere and seeing, like, the beauty of this black hole and, like, the swimming things, I think Parley's like, I did find treasure.
Aww. I look at Achilles and I'm like, they left us here with all the evidence. Our cover is gone.
Yep.
All right, let's find a vent to climb through.
Oh, I'm not done yet. I want to stroll over to one of these guards. Like, now that most of the glitter ink has faded, are there really any more people moving around in here?
No, it seems like that. Like they basically closed up the Mercury beings in here, and then they had the 3 guards posted outside.
Okay.
Honestly, the royal family probably wouldn't worry about their ships too much. Like the thing that is of value to the royal family and their guards is their own safety. So
Yeah.
like, even if something happened to like these Mercury beings are nice. Like everyone wants their Lamborghini, but if something happened to them, they would still be fine and they'd be able to buy another ship or something like that. So they had some
Yeah.
guards posted, but this was not the main focus of what they want to protect.
Sure. Like, I think that's sinking in as I'm looking around and seeing nothing else here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I stroll over to one of the guys that's down on the ground and just pick him up by the scruff, slam him against the wall, and start kind of slapping him awake. Hey, wake up.
Yeah. Whoa. What happened? Why is there glitter everywhere? What happened?
Where?
Is it my birthday?
It is. It is your birthday, and
Oh,
you're
good.
going to get an extra piece of cake if you tell me where the royals went.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh boy, I think I get my ID out, but just I have like my finger over like the name, like just like over, but like it shows that I'm part of the like guerrilla warfare team for Enola. I'm one of you. Where did they get to?
Oh, did they attack the royal family too? All right. Last I know that they were in their quarters in that building next to the big hotel. They rented out the whole building next to it for the royal family and all their rooms.
Whole building next to the hotel here on this space station.
Yeah, it's just down like 2 floors. It's pretty close.
Okay, they're safe?
They were earlier. I don't know now with this attack happening. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, what about the treasure? Is their treasure safe?
Their luggage was blown up on the other ship. What treasure?
Exactly. And I wink.
Like they're starting to kind of like come out of it a little bit more. So they're like, why did they ink? What is happening?
You let the ships get away. You're lucky that I'm not going to go tell them about this right now. And I just let him go and walk out.
Okay. Yeah. He kind of stands there shaking his head and like looking at his buddy and trying to figure out what's happening. Yeah. Blitz, do you go with him?
Yeah.
I hit my comm as we're going. Parlay, you good?
Yes, I have found treasure.
You have it?
We all have it, deep inside.
Oh, like deep inside the ships? Smart. Hide it away. Yeah, nobody else will find it. All right, cool. Where are you?
In the void of space.
Can you come back?
I am attempting to.
All right, we're going 2 floors down from where we are now. If you can meet us there soon, let us know. If something horrible is happening to you, let us know. Either way.
Yeah, so I do have reckless marked. I think that as these things are like swimming and diving around, I want to look back at like where all the glitter is and like look 2 floors down and just try to launch myself off once it seems like their trajectory is already kind of moving in a way that would be beneficial to me.
Okay. So as you do that, 317 is still like deep in conversation with this Mercury being, and like he sends off this like little high pitched like almost like squee, like like as you push off, like what is happening? And you see this other Mercury being like pinpoint turn, like you've never seen Mercury beings like spins around and like basically like grabs you. Like it like catches you, like someone trying to, like if you're dropping an egg and someone's like catching the egg, like it catches you like in its little, metal phalange things, and like thinks it's saving you.
Aw.
Treasure. Word is I think sister says that we must be safe and protect. Do you wish to leave and go back to the station?
Oh, treasure is family.
Yes. Treasure is as close as to her name that you can get with your language. And there's like this beautiful little, like, he's small right now, so it sounds like a little music box almost, like ding ding. And it's like this beautiful little melody. This is her name, but the closest is treasure.
I do need to head back, but if you would like to stay with treasure until our work is complete.
No, if you need me, I must be there for you. But Treasure will take us to where we need to go on the station so that it is safe. Why would you jump?
There are things in this atmosphere that are very detrimental to my long-term survival.
Oh, we will hurry then. I am going to have you mark one condition because you've been out there a little while. But Treasure is now going to fly you down kind of to wherever you're pointing.
Dr. Strangelove, I ride the ship towards the space station.
Amazing. And you get dropped off exactly kind of where you're pointing. You're obviously not inside. They're dropping you off on the planks and stuff outside. So yeah, the walkways.
I will go with resentful under heart. I think that I'm envious of what 317 has just shared.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, can I make a pitch to you?
Yeah.
What if you feel resentful not towards the Mercury beings, but what if you feel resentful because suddenly you realize that they are being treated like objects, like you hate about yourself, so you resent how they're being treated?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't think that fits, then
no. I was kind of placing it on the situation, but in that case, I think I'll actually do angry towards the people who put the Mercuries in this position.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about them being family before?
I don't think so, because I had always thought of them, and I'm a little angry with myself. I thought of them as something that I was created to be a caretaker of, which gives undertones of pet.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's awesome. All right, so you're dropped off, and the two of you are inside, and Parlay, you could probably catch up to them if you wanted to, or if you have another plan. And at this point, there's airlocks and stuff. You can easily get back inside.
Okay, I will join back up with them.
Great.
Parlay, welcome back.
Where's the treasure?
It is outside swimming around.
What?
Treasure is as close as our tongues can pronounce the name of 317's sister sibling.
Sister? So that's treasure?
Treasure is family.
Oh.
It's all right. We might get you something fun out of this anyway. I look at Parlay. Remember what I told you about the Royals?
Yes.
They are absolutely, definitely still here, hiding.
They did this to the Mercuries. Unacceptable behavior.
Ooh, Parlay. That was, all right. That's the energy. That's what we're looking for. Let's keep that. Let's collectively keep that going. Maybe get a little loot out of this. Maybe get some answers out of this. Yeah?
Yeah, as long as our getaway ship's close enough.
Well, it's a little lower than halfway down. I'm sure it'll be all right. And this whole time, I'm just fast stepping towards this building.
Yeah, I'm picturing this as that pre-battle kind of conversation where the three of you are kind of walking in step, bantering back and forth.
This is our West Wing.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Our hallway shot.
Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, you get to you go through the really busy part of the shopping district, and you peel off to, there's a really fancy hotel that has its own kind of courtyard that's separate from the main walkway. And then from there you can see that it has a side building that might have been something where they host weddings or events or something. It's not actually where they have rooms for most people to stay in, but it's they probably have the honeymoon suite and the VIP rooms there, and then the ballroom and stuff for fancy things. That's kind of off to the side next to it. And there are some guards standing outside. They're very subtle. You can tell just at this point you're on the look for it, Achilles, and you'd probably see this too, Blitz. These are obviously trained Anolan fighters, guards, but they are not in uniform. They are not even dressed like the ones upstairs were. They are kind of dressed like hotel employees, and one of them is just kind of plain clothes, and they're just kind of hanging out around the entrance to the second building. We'll say that there's just two of them out front right now.
As we approach with a fair level of confidence here, does that change their demeanor at all?
You can tell that they've kind of clocked you, and they're following you, and they're kind of looking, but they don't want to give away who they are until they know for sure. So they are ready for you, but they're flying casual, as it were, where they're trying to look like they're not paying attention, but they 100% are.
So as we're making that final approach, I think I slow a little bit. Look, I I'll be honest with you, I'm not even 100% sure what I'm looking for here, besides answers. I don't want to hurt these people, especially not the guards. They're just doing their jobs, but they just left their people to die. They used you like a glorified bellhop, Parlay. They used you and me, Blitz, as fodder, and I think we deserve answers. So, it is my opinion that we should do our best to talk our way into that room, and if we can't, put some people down without putting them down for good. But I have to get in that room. The three of us can do that.
All right. It looks like you're asking them to trust you and you're pitching a plan to them. So, to step up and take the lead with any number of PC crewmates, you get to wager a trust and pitch your idea to them. Then you're going to roll 2d6. You may wager up to 3 more trust. You can choose what number and add +1 to your roll for each of those.
I'm going for it. This is like my passion right now. I think I'm going to wager 3.
All right.
Is this, it says wager a trust, and it says you may wager up to 3 more trust. Does that mean a total of 4 is possible?
No, that first trust does not give you a +1. That just lets you access the mood.
Gotcha.
The other 3 are the ones that can add +1s to your roll. So, going for 3?
Yep.
All right. So, wherever you're at, you're down. Do you have enough trust for that? Do you have 4 trust?
I do. I have 5, so
Okay,
I'm going
perfect.
down to 1.
All right. So, 2d6 plus the 3.
Didn't even need it. That's a 12.
Wow.
Nice.
On the die?
Yep. Well, no, with
okay.
the roll. With the roll.
Okay, that's great. Amazing. The dice. I honestly believe the dice always know what's good for this story because this is your moment. This is like the culmination of Achilles' like whole focus right now and all their like pent up rage and frustration and sadness about the war and the end of Enola. You'd make an incredible pitch. So you get all your wager trust back. So all 4 of them. And you earn another trust because you got a 10 plus. Plus, we have the results of your crewmates. So, who's with them?
Yeah, if I'm good at anything, it's flying and then talking. So, I think that's a good start.
Yes, and I'm very angry and very strong.
You are. All right, everyone else is with you. So, each of them get to clear a condition and they earn a trust. And you get to clear a condition for everyone who's supporting you, Achilles.
Okay.
So, that's clearing 2 conditions since you've got 2 crewmates who have got your back.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Exactly. All right.
I think that as we approach, I just continue up to them with confidence. And again, I pull out my ID. And I think for the first time, I make a show of thumbing under my collar to pull out my dog tags and pointedly kind of hold them out. They're here, right?
So both of these rather large, very clearly trained fighters are going to stand up, and I'm going to reach way back to when we first arrived on the station, Achilles, to when your picture was taken. And they're going to look at you and don't even try it. We know who you are, and we know that you've been here, and we're not letting you anywhere near the Royals. You served well, so we won't take any action that isn't needed, but if you persist in this action, you will be stopped.
I step forward. So you know about the attack then? You know why we're here?
There's like just imperceptible, like you probably see it, no one else sees it, Blitz, like this like little hesitation, like a blink, a little like off attack.
Yeah, Achilles brought us here because he knew that the Royals were being targeted. We helped stop an attack upstairs by the ships. Didn't see who did it, but your guards were put down. And he asked them where you were. They told us so that we could come make sure they were safe.
It's like a weird like flicking. I'm going to have you roll manipulate a being. So when you manipulate an NPC to get what you want, roll plus savvy.
That's a 6. Would the fact that like I have piloting as a skill, like my abilities lend credibility to my words here? Can I add that skill +1?
You know what? Because you are this famous pilot that was the one who let them escape with the royal family, then yeah, you know what? I will let you add piloting to that. Not necessarily because it's the piloting skill, but because that's who you are. Like, absolutely that gives you a +1 in this conversation.
Cool. So 7.
All right.
Right.
So they'll do it for a price. So the prices they would like, they want you to reduce the threat that you pose to them. Like, you three walking up, obviously, with some aggressive vibes happening. Like, if there's something you can do to kind of change the vibe of how you're approaching them and, like, change it to, like, oh, we're here to help you, then that might help. And also, they're probably going to back out as soon as it costs them, as soon as they realize that you're not here for that. But that might be later.
I want to take Achilles' most, like, obvious weapon.
Okay.
Not anything that, like, I know he has hidden, but just, like, a show of, hey, look, we're even disarming ourselves, and hand it to them.
Okay.
You can hold on to this for us till we get back, if that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, like I definitely have that pistol on my hip that I would just, like, raise my arm and let you take.
And I lift my arms. You can check my feathers. I'm not carrying anything.
And in the spirit of honesty, and I'll reach down and grab a boot knife and hand it over, and then get the little concealed pistol out from my sleeve and hand that over, and then get the little sap that I have down.
I didn't know about any of that.
They don't laugh. Sorry, that was me. So they, like, take the weapons, and they seem to relax. You can kind of see their shoulders. They're not quite so, like, ready to spring. And yeah, they're buying your act for right now. But yeah, they're going to change their tune as soon as they see the truth, if that comes to pass. We didn't hear about the attack upstairs. What happened?
Oh, we don't know. We just stopped it, but the ships got away. You should probably check in on that.
One of them, like, face palms, just like, oh, I hate having to catch them when they get out like that. Oh, they just run around.
Do you often keep them contained in that manner?
Oh, no. I mean, it's terrible for them. We've been trying to hide where the royal family is. It's the only reason we put them inside, so that other Mercury beings wouldn't be able to, like, speak to them and find out which ones they were. But no, we never keep them inside.
Good.
I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding.
Well, we're just going to go in and double check that everything's okay here. We already handled one crisis upstairs, so just going to be another layer of security down here. You go check on that, and we'll meet up afterwards. Good? Cool?
Yeah.
As I'm, like, backing towards the door and, like, motioning for my friends.
They kind of wave you through. Yeah, you should probably report up to the Royals. They're up on the second floor in the tea room. I also, I don't know if I should do this, but can I have your autograph?
Do you have a green pen?
Just looks baffled for a moment, like this, like, not sure if it's a joke or like, no, I don't. I just have this regular pen right here.
Well, I'll go see if there's one upstairs, and if so, I only do them in green pen, just to make sure that they're valid. And nobody can claim, like, that's my signature. You get it.
Yeah, okay, that seems cool. Yeah, that's interesting.
Not knowing any better, like, when you say, do you got a green pen, now Parlay has taken that as a sign, and he, like, slowly starts to reach out like he's gonna bang their heads together, but then but then you see Achilles, like, bring his hands down.
Is that code?
Yeah, that's the code for knock people unconscious.
Just very slowly, like, I like your instinct, but no.
All right, so yeah, they wave you in. Why do you think I could buy a green pen? Like, as you're walking away, that's the conversation that's happening. And they go back to, like, guarding in, like, their casual undercover way.
You are phenomenal. Well done.
I didn't want to, like, leave them with my signature before I knew how things were going to go in here.
Yes. I thought you always carried a green pen because you love when people ask for your signature.
I do. Yep. Normally, I'm not trying to break in and gain access to the royal family. So
I see.
Saving that for later.
The phrase, a time and place for everything. Now is not the time for signatures, nor the place.
Well, it's always the time for signatures, but definitely not the place.
I'm just operating the elevator.
Did you want one?
I'm okay.
Oh, that's got to be a seeing red in some capacity.
So, again, we're going to have that West Wing type situation. This is what's happening. You're all kind of bantering back and forth as you're walking through the hallways of this incredibly opulent hotel. Like, wildly opulent. Like this is a fancy, very expensive hotel, but this is obviously, like, next level, like the fanciest part of it. Beautiful light fixtures, fancy floors, drapery, like the whole 9 yards. Just the fanciest fancy. In fact, this is probably nicer than when you did get glimpses of the royal palace, actually, when you were like during the war. So they've actually gone up in their level of comfort since they actually left their home planet. Which kind of implies that they left with at least some means. They obviously had more than just the clothes on their back when they escaped, because there's somebody paying for all of this. The hotels don't just let you stay for free because you have royal blood, especially if you're a planet you don't actually rule anymore. So yeah, and you go in the elevator, and it's like the fancy elevator with like the sparkly crystals and stuff like that, but like space version. And you hit the elevator console to go up to the second floor while they're bantering back and forth about the signatures, Achilles. How are you feeling right now, Achilles?
Like mixed emotions. Like adrenaline is through the roof, but there's a little bit of fear, a little bit of like just righteousness. Yeah, I think someone like Achilles that hasn't ever had to deal with a situation like this before, it's like excitement, but I'm about to cry. Like just all of that at once.
Yeah. Is that resolve kind of being strengthened by like their fancy current living situation?
Oh, absolutely.
Elevator goes up. It dings. It's a much more pleasant experience than your first elevator experience here on the station. You walk out, more stunning hallway. At the end of this hallway, there's these giant doors that are covered with just gems and things from a bunch of different homeworlds. Just beautiful, beautiful doors. And outside there are these are formal Enolan guards, like palace guards in their regalia. So this is no longer like pretense. They are pulling out all the stops to still be royals despite having given up their planet. And as you kind of approach, the two guards like nod to you. And you can see they've got like little communicators. So they obviously have been talking with the two downstairs who were guarding the entryway, saying that you had to report to the royal family and what was happening.
Oh, I think we're walking up towards them, and I'm again just holding my breath. There's just that, oh, and then they nod, just like, okay, and just give another solid nod to Blitz.
I give finger guns to the guards. Hey, what's up?
Mm-hmm. So you walk past them, they close the doors behind you, and you're in kind of like the receiving room of what's obviously a very fancy suite. And on this very lush couch kind of across the room, it's sort of like in the 60s where they would like go down for living rooms. So you like had to go down 2 steps, and then the couches and stuff were kind of built into those steps. That is this kind of situation here. It's like this big room, and then you kind of go down these steps, and then you can sit on these like built-in fancy luxurious couches. Across from you're like right at one of the small set of stairs that go down into the section, is the matriarch of Enola. So she is probably like late 50s, like in just the most opulent, stunning robes that she would be on for like state occasions previously. And she's just sitting there. It looks like you interrupted her. She's got like this tray of very nice foods and drink sitting next to her. And she's kind of looking up at you, like sort of like how you'd look if you like a cockroach suddenly scurried across like your dining room table. And her son is sitting on another couch to the side. He's like early 20s, and he's not even registering you're there. He's in kind of like a dress uniform, but he's kind of laying on his back on the couch with like a console of some type, a game that he's playing like above his face, and he doesn't even turn to look at you when you walk in. Yes, can I help you?
I think I'm just standing there for a long, stunned moment.
Well, it's a shame to leave your mouth open when the door's closed behind you, because now we're all just waiting.
I am here to ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
Yeah.
That does get her son to kind of like stop and like turn and look at you like, what?
I'm not going to offer suggestions on what I think you should have done. I'm not going to tell you the count of lives you could have saved or the ones you threw away. All I'm going to do is ask one simple question. In your words, in your mind, why did you leave the planet?
Just kind of blinks at you for a moment. And she kind of like glances over at her son, and you kind of see him slowly kind of sit up. And then he's like trying to like slowly stand, like maybe they're not going to notice me. And he's trying to like kind of like leave the situation.
Sit down.
They're entirely for repair purposes, but like 2 of the pill bugs come off of Parlay's legs and roll over and like open up, and they're for like fine electrical work, but they look like they could be like a little threatening, like shockers.
Yeah, no, awesome. And this fancy prince obviously has no idea what these things are for, so seems very, very intimidated by them. So sits right back down and suddenly sitting very prim and proper to like make themselves as small as possible to get away from the little pill bugs. What would have been the purpose of staying? The planet was doomed. Like, all we would have done was died with the rest of them who did. At least this way we can keep a Nolan culture alive. And really, as long as we're alive, the planet might someday, you know. And she kind of like waves her hand off. Is that what you're here to do? Are you here to champion a lost cause? Would it have been better if we had all died with all those people that you cared so much about? I mean, it would just have been a waste.
I don't know if this counts, but I feel like I can't keep my cool right now.
Okay. Are you saying that you want to act out?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you just can't keep your cool any longer, spend a trust. So you're spending it. You don't get it back. And act out on one of your marked conditions. And when you're done with it, if you act out big enough, at least one crewmate has to be aware of your actions too, which both of them are here, so that'll happen. Then you get to clear 2 conditions. But it's got to be a big scene. So what do?
I think I just shout once. I won't do that to the listeners, but just a screaming, shut up. And I pull out a small device and hold it up, and I click a button, and I play back her answer that she just spoke to me.
Oh.
Bring back our culture? Look at you. Look at yourselves. Look at this place. You think this is the culture I grew up in? You think this is the culture I fought for? All you are now is a rich piece of trash. No one that survived that war will let you within light years of that planet ever again. Your culture is sitting comfortable for the rest of your life with a galaxy that hates you. And every bad thing that comes from this being spread to every corner of all of the worlds, I wish those horrible things upon you. And I wish I could stick around to watch them befall you.
In that moment, 317, who's been still sitting on your head, like flies over and kind of lands on your recording device, Achilles. And like you can see like the little lights and stuff as it's processing and sending it out. So it starts playing on the prince's little console. You can tell that 317 is using his communications as a ship to send out this message to the entire station and probably this entire quadrant, everyone who's in range.
I'm just smiling, shaking my head. Blitz, there's a lot of expensive stuff in here.
Yeah, I'm good. And you look over and you can just see Blitz's like a huge like jewel-encrusted bust that was standing on a pillar in the corner. And I've just picked it up and I'm just like, yeah, this about covers it.
Parlay, final thoughts for them?
The 2 little pill bugs roll back over onto Parlay's calves. I hope you brought enough money to stay in this lavish furnishing for a good deal of time, because we have recommissioned your ships. Have a good day.
I'll turn and walk out.
And like as you like throw the doors open, the guards kind of look like shocked, like, whoa, that's aggressive, and they go running in to check.
As they go in behind us, I want to grab something out of my pocket and toss it in the room and close the doors. And it's a glass vial of the ink that the ships give off.
Amazing.
And just glitter bomb the room as we leave.
Amazing.
I reach into Blitz's pocket and I pluck out the green pen and I jam it into the lock and break it off.
So good. Yeah. 317 like flits over, lands on the loot that you've taken, Blitz, and it kind of turns and like the little bug like looks at you and is like, treasure?
Yes, this is treasure.
Thank you so much for running us through this.
No problem.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
This is a great system.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm glad you like it.
Can you tell us about the Kickstarter, where folks can go to learn more about this game and to get their own copy of it?
Yeah, so this game will be kickstarting. It's starting July 9th, 2024. If you are in the future, hopefully you can buy it. But as of right now, if you go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter, that will redirect you to the actual Kickstarter page where you can hopefully support us, make this game a reality. We have incredible artwork. We have incredible layout and editing and stuff. The team is just top notch. I'm also really proud that that the team is all from marginalized communities in the gaming industry. So it's all women, non-binary, and people of color who are working on this game. And yeah, so we're hopefully going to get it kickstarted and get more art, get really intricate layout if we get enough money, and just make it the most beautiful, stunning book it can be. It's such a passion project of mine, and I'm just really excited to bring it to life.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us, everybody. And we will see you next time. Journey among the stars with your crew and ship bonding through adversity and becoming a found family in Starscape by Golden Lasso Games. Inspired by shows like Star Trek, Cowboy Bebop, and Battlestar Galactica, this sci-fi PBTA game is available on Kickstarter now until August 8th. Go to goldenlassogames.com/Starscape to learn more.